Oh, sweet. Oh, awesome.
All right, Brendan, whenever you want, you can
Okay.
start.
Hey, gang, welcome back to Season 1, Episode 20 of the First of the Worst podcast. I am Brendan Murphy,
And I'm Steve Arendis.
and we are celebrating our 20th episode with our first ever guest, someone who has been a longtime friend of the show, longtime social media commenter, and now an honor to have Carly Owen as our first guest. Thank you for joining us, Carly.
Hey, I just want to note that I'm not just like a crazy fan and like commenting on everything you guys do. I spend a lot of time like G-chatting with Steve about these lists beforehand, and also I designed your logo. So
Thank
I'm
you.
like,
I
I'm
did
kind of like legit, not like a creeper. But thanks
You
for
did design the
having
logo.
me.
Sorry, that was not my best introduction. I realized as I was introducing you, I was like, I think she has like a podcast, and I could probably do other things to like introduce her credentials and just be like, this person's on Facebook.
I have nothing to plug. It's okay.
Okay. Well,
I'll plug your stand-up later if you want me to, though.
well, I could use it since I got 0 attendees of my midnight. So the reach of First of the Worst is it helping at the moment? I guess
No.
we should just probably quit.
Wah.
Yeah. Well, at least there were like 7 other comedians who've always heard my jokes there. I had a very strange night last night, guys, and I mean this podcast is about lists, and Carly will be joining us for a list that she has a specific expertise in, and we'll get to that in a second. But I told these guys before we got on, I am like LeBron James, kind of. Okay, I kind of hear
How?
feedback, Steve.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
Like I hear myself talking.
Do you guys hear me when I do it? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Carly, is
So
your
this might be my fault.
yeah? Well, we could. Well, I'll
What's
edit all
going on
this
with
out.
your audio?
Is your computer shooting audio out of its speakers?
No. Well, I'm using my headphones. Like
Yeah.
I have headphones plugged into the jack, so yeah, nothing's coming out of the speakers themselves.
How loud are the headphones?
I-
Possible the headphones are. Is it possible the headphones are the mic is picking up what you're hearing through your headphones?
Maybe. Is that better?
Well, I can't hear you, Brendan. You talk now.
Let's try this now. I
I
can't
don't
hear
any.
it.
Do you hear any feedback right now?
No, I don't.
I don't either. Do you,
Let's
Carly?
just test.
No, I don't. Everything sounds fine for me.
Did you hear
Okay.
the feedback before when we
No.
were talking about it?
No,
Okay.
so it was probably me.
Okay,
I
it's
think
fine
what was
now.
happening was probably that the audio of your headphones was getting picked up by the mic
It's
of
so
your
close.
headphones.
Probably.
They're so close.
It
So,
sounds fine now. All right.
But okay, you can hear us okay still? Because
Yeah.
you turned it down a little? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'll just note. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't do a timer. This
That's
is
fine.
2
That's fine.
minutes.
That's fine.
So before we get in the list, and this is a list for which Carly is a special expert, I have a little anecdote because this show is about the list and about my earn my own personal follies oftentimes. And I had one last night. I went out drinking pretty aggressively, and I came home at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got to the door of my apartment, and just the key would not work.
Great.
And I was just messing with the door handle and trying to jam the key in. And then I was like, I texted my friend. I was like, hey, I might need to come back over. I don't know. I can't get into my apartment. I don't know what happened to my key. And I give it one last try. I go up and I plug the key in, and then I look at the unit number, and it's 12F. I went to the wrong unit by 4 floors.
Was it your old apartment?
No, not even my old apartment. Just an apartment. And I did remember then, I got into the elevator, and I accidentally hit 12 and 16. I was like, that was pretty stupid of me. And in like the 5 seconds that it took to go from the ground floor to floor 12, I forgot that I did that.
You're lucky you didn't get arrested.
It's a mirror. They must not have been home. But
Oh yeah.
that could have been very bad. But here I am. We're broadcasting from 16F,
Yeah.
so it kind of worked out.
Congratulations.
Nice work. I did that twice in college. Once freshman year, because I had to walk up 3.5 floors. I only made it 2.5 when I was drunk, and I tried to get into the room. It didn't work. And one sophomore year in my apartment, and I literally walked into the apartment, and everybody was asleep, like it was unlocked. And I was like, "This is not where I live." I
Oh,
like
man.
ran out.
Yeah, you could have gotten in real big trouble for that one.
No, I've never done that, but someone did that to me once. Like in my last place, some guy was like jamming on the back door, and it was me, me living with another girl. Like, we're not gonna take this lightly. So I called the police, and they came, and they like had cornered this guy in my backyard, and it was like he was trying to get back to he was visiting from out of town, and he was trying to get to his friend's place, and he thought that this was Charlie's place, and I said, no, this is Carly's place. Whoa, there's no Charlie here. So it was a little scary, but it was just a drunk guy. Maybe he was trying to get to Brendan's.
All right, guys. Well, let's get into this list because it could take a little while doing a 3-man weave here, or a 2-man and a lady weave. So this week we brought in Carly as a specialist here because we're going to be talking Kardashians.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm really like proud to be known as the Kardashian specialist. I think if I were brought in to talk about the challenge or maybe even the housewives, I'd be a little bit prouder. I'd say like with all the episodes of television that the Kardashians have been on, with like all their spin-offs and all the shit, I've probably only seen like 10% of those episodes, but I think that's enough to know all I need to know.
I think if you have seen more, you'd be like a little in too deep.
Maybe.
I mean, what do we think 10%
I would like
of those
know all
episodes
their
are?
inner drama, yeah.
Is that like 50 episodes maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
We think that
I feel like they've created probably like 1,000 episodes of TV. I have no idea. They have like 12 shows. And then like if you bring in people like, who we might be talking about later, like Brody Jenner.
Multiple shows separate for him, yeah.
Yeah, he's been on like 5 different reality shows, and that's why he's so great. We'll save that for later.
Okay. All right, so before we get into it, how do each of you like rank? I kind of just ranked on who entertains me the most. So number 1 is my most entertaining, number 10 is my 10th most entertaining, and whoever other people I didn't rank aren't entertaining or whatever.
I did the same thing. I feel like if you would have tried to go with like who you think is actually the best of these people who are often described as the worst, you wouldn't come up with anything, because there are very few actual people who you would want to hang out with or who you would say are like good people based on what we know without actually knowing them. So yeah, I went with like who I like to watch the most. Some of these people I think I like to watch, but I would be terrified to meet them in person and see what mean things they would say to me.
I did the way I did it was just like the people I hate the least, because I hate them all with an incredible fervor so much. Except my number 1, who I love, but would be considered a terrible person by any measure. Yeah. So that's how I did it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody I consider a good person on my list. Maybe one.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it then. Carly, since you're the guest here, who is your? We're not going to snake draft today, guys, because that's going to be confusing. We're just going to go 10 through 1. I'll talk about it since there's 3 of us. Carly, you're the guest. Who's your number 10?
All right, my number 10 is probably the most in the news member of the clan this week. It's Bruce/Caitlyn. And I think as almost everyone on Earth knows that Bruce, the former kind of patriarch stepdad of the family, is going through a transition to become Caitlyn. We don't really know too much about Caitlyn right now except kind of what she looks like. So I'm more ranking based on Bruce, who through the whole like tenure of the Kardashians has kind of just been like an innocent bystander to all of their crap, and has kind of just like had to deal with them and gets picked on by them and is just kind of like has taken it in stride. And I think that's why I really wanted to put Bruce/Caitlyn on my list, and also because of like the major burn with the whole like naming herself Caitlyn but with a C instead of a K. And we don't know if that was a burn. We don't know if that was her name back in the 80s before she knew Chris and everything, but I think I'm gonna understand that it was a burn on the Kardashians, and I like that.
It's a way better storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just, like Brendan likes to say, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Yeah.
Brendan, who you got?
I went with who I think is historically probably the most famous Kardashian, I didn't put all the sisters on here. There's one notably absent one, but I think she's the most attractive one, which makes me hate her a little less. And she's, the one that kind of got it all started by having sex with a dude in Palm Springs and putting it on the internet, and that would be Kim Kardashian. Is my number 10.
Yeah, I think she's important to have on the list because, like, without her, a lot of these people don't exist.
Without her famous ass, this might not have anything. This might not have taken off. As Joel McHale used to always say, Kim Kardashian, who's famous for having a big ass and a sex tape, which is kind of just kind of the truth.
Yeah. I mean, and I think we discussed prior to this that Ray J is not allowed on the list because he was like
pre-show.
Yeah, like them being an institution, but he did kind of get it all started with KK there.
Yeah, but that kind of eliminates him and Rob Sr., OJ's lawyer, and Paris Hilton when Kim K was Paris Hilton's assistant.
I actually thought that kind of precluded Brody, but if you guys are saying Brody's eligible for the list, I might have to make like a...
Brody's eligible.
Okay.
I mean, Brody's on the show. I think he counts.
Brody's eligible.
Okay, well then I had like a cheap one that I'm not going to use then, so I'll put Brody in place of Mason Kardashian, who's on my list, but it's 2 or something. So
wait, is Mason's last name Kardashian or Disick?
Oh, it's Disick. Pardon me, Mason Disick.
Mason Disick. He's got the Kardashian in the middle name.
Yeah, he's the little lord. So then my number 10, I cheated. I cheated on my 10 and 9, which is my number 10. Is Kendall/Kylie. I don't really know what Kendall Jenner brings to the party. Like, she's never once entertained me. And Kylie Jenner is being put on this list based on potential because she, in like 5 years, is going to be like number 1. But I'm not legally allowed to comment on Kylie Jenner for like 3 more months.
Oh, that's how she's got left. Do you guys remember, like, probably like 8 years ago now when there was like a countdown to the Olsen twins turning 18?
So creepy.
It was like such a weird thing that we actually cared about.
They aren't even like, they were never even good looking. They're just like little girls.
They still look like mole people.
They're like 30 and look like little girls still.
I mean, hey guys, let's not judge the Olsen twins or people who are their fans. Let's not judge people who had that as their homepage, perhaps.
A countdown on Facebook.
Yeah, like in your AIM Scream profile. Like the countdown. BRB at class. 16 more days till Olsen's are 18.
Yeah, I just don't have a strong opinion on the younger sisters. Which I'll start number 9 because I also cheated on number 9, and I put Courtney and Chloe there because I guess if one of them was above the other one, it would be Courtney, but I don't know why, really. They're just all the sisters to me are just tag-alongs. They're just tag-alongs that are being brought along for the ride and don't really bring anything to the party individually. Get in, whatever, make some money.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, I put just Courtney, and I did not put Chloe on there because I think she ruined Lamar Odom, which breaks my heart. One of the more talented basketball players, a guy I just loved for his NBA utility.
I love
so yeah, I couldn't do Chloe. I just went with Courtney for my number 9.
Number 9?
Yeah, that's my number 9.
Oh, nice. Who is your 9, Carly?
You guys have like a hugely different philosophy than I did because Kim is not on my list at all. In fact, I ranked my bottom 3, and Kim was in my bottom 3.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I really don't give her much credit. It's just because she sucks so much.
On film.
Yeah. In hotel rooms. My number 9 is Lamar.
Okay.
And I don't know a ton about his game. I got to give him a lot of credit for not participating in them as much as he could have, and for his like tradition of photoshopping himself into their famous Christmas photos.
And not even being there when they took the picture.
Yeah. And I really respect that he's like, fuck this. Just Photoshop me in. And I think he did it more than once, which I just really enjoy. So he's there.
And hopefully he's right. Hopefully Lamar is righted the ship. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's had his share of
We'll have
problems.
some time to talk about Lamar later on in this list, I'm assuming. So then we're on to number 8. Carly, just go ahead. Number 8.
All
Who do you
right.
got?
I got Reggie Bush at number 8. Who?
Oh, damn it. Totally forgot about Reggie Bush.
Brendan is forgetting all the key players.
I guess I never considered him a family member, though.
Oh, he was in the list. Him and Miles Austin, too.
So, yeah, I mean, Reggie Bush was like, he made some appearances on the show, and I think of all the Kim boyfriends, husbands, what have you, Reggie might have been the one that I most believed, like, actually gave a shit about her. Like, Kanye, I think, is just kind of obsessed with Kim and just, like, treats her like a statue or like a mannequin.
Yeah, she's
but
an
I feel
accessory.
like Reggie actually really loved her. So, and plus, he's probably the best athlete on this list, even though his honors have been revoked. But it wasn't because he was bad at football.
Oh, that's debatable. Lamar Odom's pretty
I'd
good.
probably go with Lamar over Reggie.
Really?
Reggie did win a Heisman
Wow.
Trophy, though. I mean, Reggie is really a freak athlete. They're both very good athletes. But yeah, and he clearly loved her because he now is like married to or dating a girl who looks exactly like her.
Yeah, they're married. She looks exactly like him, and they're
She was
like
like in
having
a
a kid
commercial
soon.
for like Old Navy or something. It looked
Mhm.
it like he got mad because this girl looks exactly like her.
Yeah. So
Reggie. I told her, like,
Reggie.
she dated she dated a soccer player once, I think, too, briefly. But Reggie was the one who was like most into the show.
Mhm.
Like if he married her, he would have been like on the show all the time.
Oh, sure.
Or like Kanye once in a while was like, fine, I'll let you put me in one episode.
Right.
Well, Reggie was at USC, so he kind of knows that LA life a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Matt Leinert's pissed he never dated one of them.
Oh, Matt Leinart dated like Kristen Cavallari or something.
That sounds about right.
And he and Blake Griffin share a baby mama.
Yeah, for sure.
really?
Sure, baby mama. Yeah. Well, yeah. What I think what the baby mama did, she was a former USC basketball player. She's pretty. She got knocked up by Leinart, and then Leinert's star kind of fell, and she's like, I don't know, this money's gonna dry up. So then she scouted out Blake Griffin and got knocked up by him. It's a good move.
An enterprising young woman, if there ever was one.
Who's your number 8, Brendan?
I went with Rob. I call him the Lord of Socks.
Oh yeah, he's all in the socks.
Rob has had a hard go of things by all accounts. He took the Lamar thing very difficult
Yeah.
because they were very close. I mean, he's not doing so well, but at times he was somewhat entertaining on the show, and he's far less terrible than them. I did find one nugget when I was researching him on Wikipedia, and that was that he tweeted that he was going to go back to law school at USC, and then USC tweeted that he hadn't even applied. The actual School of Law at USC tweeted about it.
That's amazing. So like, if you're Rob and you live in this crazy family, like, if I'm like, how old was Rob? Do you think when Lamar like came into the picture?
Rob is 28 now, so that was like 4 years ago.
20?
24,
Oh.
23, something.
Yeah,
Was it like 4 or 5 years ago?
So like,
probably.
I'd be totally into hanging with Lamar. If like Lamar just came into my family back then.
I mean, the Lakers were
Right.
good at basketball then. It was a big LA thing, as it has been for generations.
Well, plus when you've got, your Kim's like never-ending rotation of dudes that, weren't really sticking around very long. Courtney's got Scott, but he's, not really
A normal
a
person.
bro type. Like he's just kind of mean, and then everybody else in the family's a lady. Like you have no
Yeah.
bro type.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Right.
And Lamar's pretty
Like
chill.
always. Yeah.
Like chemically chill. Well, maybe not anymore. We switched to crystal meth or whatever. But he was suspended twice from the NBA for marijuana, which is pretty hard to do. Which is pretty hard to get suspended from the NBA for marijuana. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody is smoking weed all the time in the NBA, so I don't even know how he got suspended for it.
He doesn't have that orange drink that clears your system,
Or a Wizinator.
or a
Oh
Wizinator.
my god. That's another throwback.
So then my number 8 is Brody. First off, Brody's a great name, by the way. And spoiler alert, that's not gonna be my son's name, but I kind of wish it was.
Spoiler alert, it's not his real name. His real name is Sam, and his middle name is Brody.
Well,
Fun
yeah, you
fact.
clearly take Brody there.
Yeah.
And like, so wait, he dated my girl LC back in the day, the Kohl's apparel maven.
That's why I would say you got Brody way too low. Brody's contributions to the reality television genre are pretty seminal for what has now become that industry.
Did he have some show called like the Kings of Malibu or like the Princes of Malibu or something?
Yeah, that show was great. And so it was him and Brandon.
Brandon sucks.
And Spencer Pratt.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was like the two brothers, and they lived with their mom.
Okay.
And their stepdad at the time was David Foster, who has like written every song on earth. Like if you Google, it's like he wrote like Tony Braxton and like Whitney Houston. Like every song that they've ever recorded was written by this guy. And it was basically about him like being pissed that his kids like went to college and like didn't get a job, and they're basically just like taking this free ride from him. And it's like every episode was him trying to get them to like do something with their lives. And then Spencer was their friend. And the theme song was like a cover of Free Ride, like the song from Daisy Confused. I just watched it like an hour ago.
That's amazing. Yeah, Brody seems like a pretty normal bro, right?
Yeah.
He's like a normal bro. Like you can hang out with Brody.
Oh yeah, Brody. I wish Brody was my friend.
He had that other show about like how to get a best friend.
Well,
on TV.
So was Brody the one who dated that girl Stacy on the Hills for a while?
Yeah.
She was a bartender at Bernie's after that.
In Wrigleyville?
In Wrigleyville. And
really?
I got a few connections up there, and guess what? Everyone hated her.
She probably just talking about the time she
right.
dated Brody Jenner all the time.
That is quite a fall from grace, though. I think she was in Playboy, too.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't surprise me.
So that's
right.
your career trajectory. Date a Jenner Kardashian, do a Playboy spread, bartend in Wrigleyville. And now, I don't know, she's probably like bartending in like North Center and just working her way down.
Yeah, until she's like in Hammond, Indiana.
Dealing blackjack at the casino.
Oh.
If only. All right, we'll get to our number sevens now. Who wants to lead it off on number 7?
I'll do it.
Oh, Carly, go for it.
All right, so I've got Kendall at 7, and I know she's probably considered like more of one of the boring ones, and she doesn't really do anything too dramatic, but she is like a supermodel, like probably has one of the more legit careers,
she
quote
does.
unquote, of any of them. She's actually doing something to earn money, not just like posting stuff on Instagram. And I also really like her because she's best friends with Gigi Hadid, who's also a rising supermodel and is also connected to this whole reality business because her stepdad is also David Foster, who we just talked about. Yeah. Because
these people are like the Duggars. Jesus Christ.
It's crazy.
I
We
was
drew
gonna
this big
Lannisters.
chart at work once, and it's like, it's scary how they're all connected.
Yeah, they seem like the Lannisters. I don't even understand. Everybody's somebody's stepdad or stepmom,
Yeah.
or they're all related somehow, which is kind of weird. I mean, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's like a supermodel, right? Like she's like a legit model, like runway, like legit, like Paris, Milan runways, all that stuff. Which good for
Yes.
her, I guess.
She also, like, in this past season, one of the few episodes I watched, like, Bruce, he was still Bruce then, had a barbecue and invited all the kids, and Kendall's the only one who showed up. And I assume Kendall's the only one who's actually busy with real obligations. So I thought that was a really nice thing, so I wanted to make sure she was on here.
How dare you? Kylie has her extensions line that she's promoting.
It's true. Her
She's a
blue
17-year-old business tycoon, extension tycoon, selling
That's true.
neon green extensions.
Do not forget that Kylie and Kendall co-wrote a science fiction book
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
called, I just had it pulled up, hold on a second, called Rebels, City of Indra.
Sounds great.
So,
It does. It's the new Game of Thrones.
Who's your number 7, Brendan?
my number 7 is actually Kylie, and I don't know anything about her, but I found this nugget online that I just wanted to read verbatim. because I just thought it was great. Kylie Jenner has a lot of competition with her famous sisters, especially her older sister, Kendall Jenner. Now Kylie has found a new way to upstage her older sis. Her model sis, pardon me, by getting a better booty, exclamation point. HollywoodLife.com has the exclusive, all caps, details on how she's going to make a bigger name for herself by having a bigger butt.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're competing against the only one in your family who doesn't have a big butt. It's pretty easy, I think.
True.
I think this is brand recognition. Stick with the big ass. That's what you do well.
Yeah, I mean, she's most likely, I mean, she's only 17, so give us a few months, but she's most likely of all these people to be in a sex tape again. I think if you're putting odds on next Kardashian to be in a sex tape, Kylie's number one, and it's like will be drop on her 18th birthday starring her.
I don't know, man. What about Caitlyn?
Ooh.
That would be pretty revolutionary.
It would, and I mean, she's come out the gate like in lingerie day one, so who knows?
Yes.
I mean, think about it. It's like when he was Bruce, his like last 15 years of like learning what the life of women is all about is hanging out with all of these women. Some of that has to be like absorbed into your brain, like and become kind of part of you. I don't know how it wouldn't. It's crazy. All right, my number 7. We're going. Lamar. Love Lamar back from his days at Delaware. Delaware, right?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. I get Rhode Island and Delaware confused all the time. They're colleges. They're like the same colors and schools that don't really matter. But he's playing at some little school, and he can play every position on the court.
Yeah, he originally was committed to Duke, but he was very ineligible because he cheated a lot on tests. And then the very illegitimate Jim Herrick got him up to URI.
Yes. Yes, Rhode Island's him, and Delaware is the football quarterback, right?
Flacco.
Flacco is Delaware, yeah.
Wait, so could he have overlapped with my boy Dunleavy if he had gone to Duke?
I think Lamar's older, maybe even.
I think he's older. Okay. He was the same age as Shane Battier. They were supposed to be in the same recruiting class, I believe.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, Lamar only stayed in school for 1 year. So like there wouldn't have maybe if he was there for 4 years there could have been some rollover with Dunleavy.
Yeah, side note, Brendan, Steve knows this, but I love Dunleavy because I went to high school with him for 1 year. And he didn't even get to play because of eligibility.
Oh, poor kid.
His dad was the coach of the Bucks then.
Those Duke kids can't get their grades up to play. I'm sure it wasn't actually grades. I'm sure
it was probably transfer
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Was he a nice guy? Did you have any personal interaction with him?
Yeah, I sat next to him in a class, but didn't really talk to him much. Skinny hung out with him because they went to church together. He's actually played basketball against.
Yeah, Skinny. Our friend Skinny has told me that Dunleavy's definitely dunked on him before, like in church league basketball.
Like in 8th grade. Yeah.
Which is hilarious, especially considering who Mike Dunleavy is now, which is this like guy who shoots jump shots and like sneaky is really dirty and like gets in weird rivalries and like elbows guys all the time.
That's just an aging white guy move right there.
It really is. That's how you keep yourself relevant. You make threes and elbow guys. All right, so we've all done our number 7s now?
We have, I believe.
All right, I'll just do my number 6. We'll get to number 6. And she might be the worst person, technically, of all these people. But she's the godmother of this whole operation. And Kris Jenner runs this show. Like, she is evil, probably. Would we agree that Kris Jenner's evil, probably?
I mean, she's definitely got ulterior motives to everything she ever does.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, she's horrible. She didn't even make my list because of the fact that she's the godmother of all of this terrible.
Yeah, for sure. But I love a heel. I love a good heel. And she's a bad guy. She knows she's a bad guy too. She doesn't hide that. She embraces it. Also, I just recently learned, and I'll probably put this on our Tumblr or something. She made when she turned 30 years old, she made the terrible, terrible song "I Love L.A."
I actually don't.
They play at the end of every Lakers game.
They played in like the Naked Gun. There's like a montage of like fun times in L.A.
It's so cheesy. Like, I love L.A. I love it. It's so bad. And she like made a parody of it for her 30th birthday, a video. And
I have seen it.
I love my friends. It's so bad, it's awesome. Yeah, and she's the devil, which is great, which is why I kind of enjoy her. And you know she's always up to stuff. And she's so trying to figure out a way to make this Caitlyn Jenner thing about her. So like she's just like toiling trying to figure out a way to like spin this off into making her getting more money.
Oh, she's absolutely written the playbook on how to be an overbearing stage mom to the point that you become the act.
Yeah, that's the way
it is what she did. Like Dina Lohan doesn't have shit on Kris Jenner.
No, not at all.
Oh, no way. Well, Dina Lohan only has like a third of the children.
Part of the problem. She should have read the playbook closer.
Right. And wasn't there a thing recently when like Kris Jenner published a cookbook and there was like a recipe for like Nicole Brown Simpson's nachos, like in honor of my like passed away friend, like, and everyone, it's just like the most terrible thing ever. Like honor your friend who was murdered 20 years ago.
Who your husband then kind of defended.
Right.
It is a misconception though. He wasn't actually the defense attorney, Robert Sr. He was just the friend and spokesperson.
Brendan's our O.J. Simpson trial expert here.
So he was not actually a lawyer on the defense team.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you have any O.J. Simpson trial questions, you just ask Brendan. Were you for Halloween once?
I did dress as Judge Lance Ito in 6th grade.
Wait, you know how that movie's coming out and it's like all famous people playing all the characters, like David Schwimmer's playing Robert Kardashian.
Wait,
and,
they're
like,
doing a real OJ movie?
Yeah.
I didn't know this. This is
Look it
who's
up.
Playing Juice?
Cuba Gooding.
Oh, wow.
Gooding Jr. Oscar winner Cuba Gooding Jr.
That's such a natural transition from his role as Rod Tidwell.
I hope Kylie Jenner plays Kim. This when she's like standing to the side during that press conference.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy. As a parent, what kind of judgment do you have to bring your child to the press conference trying to exonerate your friend of a murder he was guilty of?
That's where we all met her. All right, who's your number 6, Brendan?
I'm sure he'll be way higher for you, Steve, and I'm guessing higher for you, Carly. He's the most talented person in this clan. There's no debate about it. But he's also annoying and crazy, and that's Kanye West.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is actually my last place. Like, he's not on my list, and he's
ridiculous. You guys are all
ranked
ridiculous.
worst.
You guys are all morons.
I know he's a great musician, but I hate him. Sorry.
He's the biggest rock star in the world.
He's Yeezus.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wow.
I said it's in the order of least hateable, and Kanye's hateable.
By the way, they're totally gonna get divorced at some point. I know she's having another kid, but there's no way this lasts, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't even know if Kanye's like a... I don't think Kanye's sexual about anything besides himself. You know, like, I don't think he's heterosexual, I don't think he's homosexual, I think he's Kanye sexual. Like, he wants to have a mirror on the wall so he can have sex with himself while he's having sex with someone else kind of thing.
I'm on board with that theory.
He clearly has a thing, though, for, like, women with comically large asses and tits, though. Right? Because, like, Amber Rose. Like, he just, like, his, like, vision of what women should look like is, like, what, like, old, like, Incan artifacts where they have, like, giant fake asses and boobs are, like, what they look like.
Well, that's why Brendan has a point, because he's clearly not, he, like, doesn't like them for real. He just knows, like, that's what he thinks you're supposed to like. So he's going to get that thing and then just parade it around the world and say, like,
it's an accessory.
Like, dress it up.
Yeah, it's like an accessory, right?
Yeah.
At least, like, he went with his own thing, though, because he could have just went, like, supermodel, like what everybody thinks is attractive. He, at least, not that people don't think those other two women are attractive, but
I would say among rappers, he's kind of going to the cliched woman.
You think?
Yeah.
In the rap circles, I would.
Probably. I mean, Wiz Khalifa then like married Amber Rose, and they broke up recently, right?
Yeah.
She was just a stripper, right? Am I incorrect? Like that's.
I think so. I don't know. I don't know any of these
Always
people.
marry the stripper. That is just one of life's truisms. It can never go wrong.
All right, Carly, who's your number 6?
All right, my number 6 is not someone who's seen in front of the camera, but I would say is maybe even more of a puppet master than Ms. Kris Jenner. My number 6 is Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, he kind of runs this whole show. He's the guy behind the guy.
He produces everything they're in. He's involved. I mean, and he's friends with them in front of the camera too, I guess, like in paparazzi type stuff. Like he's invited to the weddings and all that shit. But and I don't, Ryan Seacrest does everything. He's crazy and he's probably annoying to most people, but I have sort of always enjoyed him. And he's for sure running a lot of this.
He's for sure running. You know who probably hates him? I assume just like lists off his names of people he wants to kill Arya Stark style at night, and like Ryan Seacrest over and over again is Carson Daly.
Oh yeah.
But I think Carson Daly kind of made out pretty well too. When you think about,
he's doing fine.
Yeah.
He's like a host of the Today Show now.
Mm-hmm.
Is he? Jeez.
Yeah. He's like,
he went from last call to first cup.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
Hey, they don't call me the best in the business for nothing. What business that is, it isn't really one right now, but someday.
All right, Brendan, who's your number 5 then?
Did we all do our number 6s?
Yeah.
Okay. I went with Chris Humphries. He doesn't bring much to the table, but a mid-range game. At least he had the awareness to annul that marriage, which is like an old-school Catholic move, so he can get married in church again.
Yeah, classic move.
Also cost Coach K a title by not going to Duke when he was committed to going there, which I guess I like Coach K, so I put that on the downside for him. But really, I mean, what you're going to see as my list goes down is it's like people that are more perfunctory and not that important because that makes them less hateable because there's less of them on TV. So Chris Humphries is kind of the beginning of that.
Humphries is good for 8 rebounds a game and really thinking for some reason Kim Kardashian was going to move to Minnesota, which is hilarious.
I mean, you know what? He's Taj Gibson at a third of the price, so maybe he'll be a Bull soon.
Fun fact, and I put this on your Facebook page last week, but Steve and his wife Jess were actually married the same day as Kim and Chris Humphries.
That's true.
They have lasted at least almost 4 years longer.
Yes. I was also, my bachelor party in Vegas was the same time as their bachelor and bachelorette parties in Vegas. I missed being at the same bar as Kim for her bachelorette party by a night, which would have been really weird.
Wait, and didn't you also see Carlos Boozer on your bachelor party? Do you think that he was there for something to do with
Humphries? I don't know. I know Carmelo was because he was with Humphries and Lala was with Kim. I saw Boozer at Spearmint Rhino. I wasn't attending Spearmint Rhino. I just happened to see him outside.
All the cool people just hang out outside. No one goes in.
Yeah, because it's really by everything else, and you could accidentally be in front of it. It's not like in some weird city of industry outside of Vegas. Yeah, I saw Boozer there for sure. I talked to Boozer. It was great. Chris Humphries. He also spells his name the same as her mom, which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that surely played into it.
Yeah, you got the K name already. Like, she only has so many K names she can marry. All right. Carly, who is your number 5?
My number 5 is purely a cuteness play. It's Northwest.
We got the same one, I think. Yes.
Nice.
Nori.
Yeah. And I really, I've been thinking about this more than a normal person should, but, what are they going to name the second kid? They can't name it Southwest.
Why not?
Because that's an airline that has a negative reputation.
So an airline that has not gone down the hill or down the tubes yet. 'Cause Northwest doesn't exist anymore. Does it?
I don't think it does.
It does.
So, is it a girl? Do we know it's a girl?
I don't think we know.
Because you can't like name. You got to give it a weird name, or it's gonna be
Right.
like Nori's gonna be like, what? You named this kid Dave West? It doesn't make any sense. You got to like give it like a kind of weird name, or it's not gonna fit.
Right, but it's got to have something to do with something where you're really capitalizing on the West thing too.
East. East sucks. West. The worst part is West is the best first name of all the directions.
True. That is really true.
And West isn't a great name.
No.
Is
And
there
if
like you could name it something that was like, it could be like an inverse, like something that would normally be like, it could be like Virginia West instead of West Virginia.
So that when she's called in like the class list when they're taking roll, they'll say West Virginia.
Yeah,
They'll do last names first.
it's not a bad move. And if they go by Southwest, and they just call her like Surrey, like the app, like I don't even understand. 'Cause Northwest, they never
Tom
call her
Cruise's
North.
kid's name too.
Oh yeah, they never call her North. They just call her Nori, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay,
she's-
but wait, if it's a guy, do we think that Kanye would not do a Kanye West Jr.?
Oh.
It's a great point.
What if it's a boy and he just names it Jesus?
That's also a great call.
Or Jesus?
He would just
True.
name it Jesus, actually.
Yeah.
Because if he's God, then his son is Jesus. So we cracked the code.
All right.
Jesus West will be born at some point here. All right. So that was my number 5 as well. So we're already back.
All right.
We're already up to number 4. I'll just do my 4 then, since
Okay.
my number 4 is Bruce Caitlin. Bruce, I want to talk about something when we talk about Bruce Caitlin. So there's been this thing where like the Olympic Committee or something has said if Caitlin requests, they will change the name in the record books to Caitlin.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's not really how it works, right? Like, you were this person then. I know, like, maybe in your head you weren't, but, like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when he changed his name from Lou Alcindor, doesn't get to go back and make all his college stats Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's true.
It's a political play for support.
It is. No, I mean, whatever. Like, I'm fine with the whole Caitlyn
But
thing.
here's the thing, though. Like, Caitlin did not compete in, like, the women's heptathlon or what. There's not a decathlon for women.
Yeah.
But, like, Bruce won the men's decathlon, so it should probably be listed as Bruce, right? I don't know. Like,
I don't know. It's confusing.
It's kind of weird. But somebody did go through Wikipedia and change all the Bruce Jenners to Caitlyn Jenner and write, like, former or then Bruce after everything. I'm sure there was, like, a easy way to do that, but
Oh, yeah. It's so easy to
I'm
edit
surprised.
Wikipedia. It's so easy to edit Wikipedia.
Although that is a page they're probably monitoring fairly closely at the moment.
Right now,
True.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got
Oh, yeah.
that thing up in the corner, like this is a recent news story.
Yeah. But yeah, Bruce, American Hero, Wheaties Box. Caitlyn now, like, leading the news. And to be fair, always back when he was Bruce, seemed like a good dude. And now, I just hope Caitlyn doesn't go full Kardashian on us.
Yeah, I agree.
Seems like it's in play, though.
Oh, if this doesn't become a reality show,
Oh, it's gonna. It's already.
Like,
Yeah.
It's already in the works. And honestly, I know it's terrible to say. If I don't think there's at least a 2% chance Kris Jenner's behind all this.
Hmm.
oh, maybe the great reality plot line is they get back together,
Well,
as-
I actually,
a lesbian couple, or
I think,
whatever
I think
you call it.
Kris is definitely not involved, and that's why she's been so crabby this whole time. And she's been saying, you know, like, oh, I didn't know, and he's been lying to me, and blah, blah, and she's trying to make it all about her because it's all she's got.
She's Kaiser Soze, Carly.
You're saying it's the victim play?
Yeah, the greatest trick
Alright.
the devil ever played was convincing people it doesn't exist.
So Kris Jenner's just going to, like, limp away from their next photo shoot. And
and walk into a smooth stride, yeah. Spoiler alert.
what?
All right. Brendan, who's your number 4?
We talked about him, Lamar.
Lamar. Yeah, Lamar's great. All right. So I guess we're on. So do we have any more things to say about Lamar?
I mean, I don't
Lamar
know.
talk?
He has some film credits, including Van Wilder, Entourage, and Modern Family. That was my note.
Oh, he was for sure in Van Wilder. Van Wilder, the basketball team in Van Wilder was just like the Clippers back then, which was
It
like
was Corey Maggette,
Darius Miles, Quentin Richardson.
and Q. Yeah.
It was like that whole team. Yeah. And they were just like dunking on people for like half a minute in Van Wilder.
I
I
don't
don't know
remember
why I
that.
remember that at all.
Because it was exciting at the time. Because the Clippers should have. That was like the first time that the Clippers were going to be good, but
And
they
they
didn't.
never were
It
good.
didn't really work out.
You mean having all 18-year-old kids on your team? Is it going to work out? No, it's probably not. All right. Who's your number 3, Carly?
I haven't done 4 yet, but
Oh, sorry.
my 4 is Chloe.
Oh,
And-
Chloe.
Yeah, and I really only have her this high because she's, when paired with Courtney, is hilarious. And that's really all I have to say about her. I kind of feel bad for her because she's got this, she's the least pretty, and I think she's always trying to become prettier.
Trying so hard.
Yeah. And
She's like wearing corsets all the time now.
yeah, she's doing like the waist training and dyeing her hair blonde, and now she's dating Rick Fox, I think. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
read
heard
that.
that.
I found that very upsetting.
yeah,
She's like TV dating French Montana, but real dating Rick Fox.
I don't know, but I feel like Rick Fox these days is a pretty bad play.
Rick Fox just really is trying to stay famous, right? Like that's what's going on.
Hey, he was on an episode of Party Down.
Has
He's
Rick
on Oz.
Fox ever been on Dancing with the Stars? I feel like that's a Rick Fox type of thing to do.
I feel like he probably has been on Dancing with the Stars. He's like
There's
out and
been
out.
like 300 people on that show at this point.
He's the whitest teeth ever.
Including Rob Kardashian.
Oh yeah.
He was on Dancing with the Stars in 2010.
Season 13.
All right. So he wasted that. Now he's going for a Kardashian.
Yeah, Rick Fox will get on. Yeah, Rick Fox will get on there.
Yeah.
He'll make some moves. Though he should have the savvy Rick Fox play is to date Chris.
Yes.
Ugh.
I mean,
Ugh.
isn't Rick Fox like almost 50 now? Maybe older.
Yeah, how old is Rick Fox? I have no clue.
He's 46, 45.
All I know is if you want to make money off doing nothing, you date Chris, not Chloe.
Yes.
That's what you do.
And she'll find you a show.
You'll get your own show. There'll be like a Chris Fox show or something.
Or like it could be like some like outfoxed or Fox's Lady or something like that.
Foxy lady.
Foxy Lady.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's Chris's show.
Yeah.
Well, but that's exactly her move, right?
Yeah. This is great.
Exactly.
Someone call her up. Tweet at her.
I feel like this is just like a production meeting at E right now.
I'll just invite her to this Google Hangout.
It did occur to me
Alright.
today when I was in my like very, very maybe still drunk state at 11:30 still, and just like could not move from my bed 3 inches to get the Advil. I was like, what if the Kardashians heard this? It's just a what
It'd
if
be
I
great.
asked myself.
It'd be amazing.
It would be very good for our brand.
It would be amazing. I'm gonna tweet at them about it. All of them individually.
Me too.
All right. Well, that is marketing.
I'm gonna start at Rob. Does Rob even have a Twitter anymore? I
Start
don't
at the
even
bottom. You're right.
Aw. Listen to Drake.
know. All right. Who's your number 3, Carly? Let's just stay with you.
Brody.
Broad.
Yeah, Broads. Brody is gorgeous. And
Yeah, he's a beautiful
really,
man.
He's a lovely man, and he has really he's really played his reality TV card very well.
He should be the Bachelor.
Oh my God,
he'd
he
be
should.
so good at that. This is what I mean. It is like a production meeting at E.
Is E affiliated with ABC at all?
I don't
Maybe
think it is.
I
not.
don't think so. That is a really great idea.
The problem is now that show is just like it's like circle jerking itself, and like you have to be on The Bachelorette to be on The Bachelor, and then you have to be on The
True.
Bachelor to be like they don't just like it's not like it used to be when it was
Yeah.
like Jesse Palmer was The Bachelor Or like
Yeah, and,
Jerry
like, Jerry
O'Connell's
O'Connell's
brother
brother.
was the Bachelor. Like, it's not like that anymore. It's like you had to be on the previous show to be on it, which really, like, the best Bachelor is Chris Hansen.
Yes. And
He used to make the host of the show The Bachelor.
I've heard him talk about why he wouldn't be the Bachelor, and it's because he, like, knows too much or something. Like, because he knows all the production people and, like, knows, like, what's going on. He's like, you know, maybe I would do it, except, like, I'm kind of, like, too behind the scenes or whatever. I don't know.
He knows
But, yeah, Brody, we need to make that play for Brody. Remember, Brody dated Avril Lavigne, which is, like, really way off brand for him.
Who's now married to the guy from
Nickelback.
Yeah, they're the king and queen of Canada.
Yeah.
The king and queen beyond the wall.
It's like Manson Ygritte. A little bit of creative interpretation there, but
Oh, that's not a cute couple. Well, I thought that. Well, let's not get into that. I was gonna start talking about Game of Thrones plot. We can do that later. But yeah, Bachelor Brody would be a real dream come true, I think, for everybody who's a fan of reality TV, because everyone who watches any reality show knows Brody from some show over the years.
Yeah,
So.
he would just be amazing as the Bachelor too. Like, he wouldn't like be doing all that fake bullshit at the beginning when they're like, "Man, I gotta cut this down to 20 women."
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Like, you just take the 20 hottest ones.
Right.
yeah, obviously.
You take maybe there's like day one there's like 25 women, right? There's how many of them can you legit have had like a good conversation with? Like 4?
Right.
So you take those 4, then you take the next 16 hottest. Done. I don't understand why it's hard at the beginning.
Well, plus we know that Brody likes Playboy girls and like bartender, like kind of like skanky girls. So like those are always the ones that have like the drama come out sometime during the season. Like, oh, yeah. I found out she was in Playboy, and it's like this big thing, and it would be like he would love that. And so there would be like 5 of them in the cast, and
yeah, it'd be great.
Argue over whose spread was better.
The thing is, what is there? This might be a no gain situation for him though. Like, what does he gain from being the Bachelor?
I think more people. I think you get some more viewers in the Brody Jenner bandwagon. I think you get some like older people who maybe don't watch.
You're saying personal branding.
Yeah.
Well, and everyone who's the Bachelor then goes on Dancing with the Stars as soon as the season's over, so he'll get that.
Has he not been on it yet?
I don't think so. Like, Rob was on it.
For it.
What?
He might be too big a star for Dancing with the Stars.
Maybe.
You think Caitlin's gonna go on Dancing with the Stars?
Yes.
And win. The athletes always win.
Yeah, athletes are great at it. You're right. Oh, that's a great pick.
You need
Caitlin winning
to write down
Stars.
all of these ideas and send them somewhere.
Is that Sony leak still out? Are those like emails available for like everybody whose like email addresses got leaked at Sony? We can just like email them all these ideas.
Maybe.
Brendan, who's your number 3?
I went with Bruce Caitlin. I actually have like a mild apology. Not that I don't mean it. I just don't know that I was really that offensive last week. But I do think that for me to trivialize the gender change was silly last week, and I do regret it, and I apologize to my family and my constituents. No, but to say that you can understand anyone else's internal struggle is ridiculous, and I think I kind of did that, and that was wrong. So
we just got serious for a second there.
Yeah.
Well, here's what happened. All these people were just like complaining about the. I started by complaining about the Arthur Ashe Courage Award, and then I saw all these people doing it on Facebook in like a super homophobic, bigoted way, and it just made me feel really bad because that's not who I am, and I don't want to be one of those people, and so I don't see it that way at all.
There was like,
and then they were like they took it away from a veteran and gave it to,
which wasn't even true.
Yeah,
which was not true. It's like such a talking point for like Rush Limbaugh to say.
Yeah. The best Facebook post was the one where there was like, this isn't a hero, these are real heroes. And it was like a picture of like guys at war, but it was actually a picture of like toys. Like toy soldiers. Like, positioned like they were at war.
Oh my God.
People didn't realize it.
There is more than one way to be a hero.
Yeah, many ways.
Shockingly.
One of them is to do a podcast when you have a sore throat like I did last week.
Or like a really bad hangover, like I'm doing today. I mean, I was like LeBron. I was in the hyperbolic chamber for like 4 hours before this.
You definitely were in a hyperbolic chamber, not a hyperbaric chamber.
I needed to get my words right.
All right. My number 3 is Kim. She is like a lot of these other people on this list. Like we don't even know who they are. Now we would have known Brody still,
Yes.
right? We would know Kanye. We wouldn't know her
Bruce.
sisters. I don't think we know Bruce. We already knew Bruce, right? But we wouldn't know Lamar, the athletes. We would know, but like all of her sisters and like I don't even think we know who her mom was.
Probably not, but Courtney was on a reality show before any of them.
Really? What show?
She was on this show it was on E! It was called Filthy Rich Cattle Drive, and they took like all these children of like rich Beverly Hills people and like made them be like city slickers and like drive 100 cattle across Colorado.
Were they trying? Was it like jumping on like the Simple Life bandwagon kind of?
I think so. I think it was probably like right around the same, like 04, 03.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Courtney was there, and like that Brittany Gastineau.
Oh, I know who that is.
I feel like people have heard of her because her dad is like a football player, right?
Yeah,
and,
he was like a Jets lineman.
He had a spin-off on E! Called Gas No Girls, which I somehow know.
Yes.
I do too. With her mom.
Yeah, and like Henry Winkler's daughter and like Lou Ferrigno's daughter. It was like all these like ridiculous children of rich people. And I don't think Courtney was really a breakout on that. She was not nearly as complainy as some of the others. But we might know who she is, maybe, without Kim.
Yeah. All right, so we're on to our number 2s now, right? We've all done our 3s?
Yeah.
On to our 2s. All right, Brendan, let's start with you. Who's your number 2?
My number 2 is Broads.
Broads.
Who
I
had to kind of adjust my list, but no, Brody is awesome. I want to be friends with him.
You want to bro
think
down
we
with
all-
Brody.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hang out with. Also, like when he was on the hills, he was like kind of a guy you rooted for. All the other guys on that show were so terrible.
I didn't really watch The Hills. I'm more of a Laguna Beach purist.
Okay.
So I didn't really get deep into The Hills.
Hey, I mean, there's Uncle Tupelo and there's Wilco. They're 2 bands by Jeff Tweedy. One is not necessarily better than the other, but some people prefer one to the other.
I'm a Laguna Beach truther. Yeah, Broads. So if I was making a list of like people in this thing that I would want to hang out with, Brody's probably number 1.
Or Disick.
I don't know if you really like the idea of hanging out. Well, we'll talk about it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I assume that it's forthcoming for all of us in the next.
Yeah.
So who's your number 2, Carly?
Well, so it's time to talk about the Lord.
Yeah, he's my number 2 as well. The Lord.
The Lord is. I would not want to hang out with the Lord because I am not a hot girl, and I think he would be really mean to me because he's mean to everyone who's like not somebody that he likes.
He's mean to people he likes.
That's true. He's really mean
Like
to
his
Courtney.
wife.
Right.
Like his wife, yeah.
He's mean to everybody, so I wouldn't want to hang out with him, but I like watching him make fun of and be awful to everybody else.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't think hanging out with him would be fun at all.
Yeah,
him
maybe you're right.
is where it's at.
I'm a kind of a fat guy. I wouldn't want him to continuously point that out.
Oh,
I'm wearing clothes from Target right now, so I don't think I'd want to hang out with the Lord. I'm not nearly couture enough for him.
yeah. I mean, if I'm going to meet the Lord, I better be like landing in a helicopter when I meet him.
Right.
Like, just so he like takes me seriously.
All right, and let me ask you, Carly, who's a more beautiful man, Brody or Lord Disick?
Brody,
Bro.
are you crazy?
Really? Okay, I mean,
I don't even
Sorry.
think
I would say they're both classically handsome.
He does have nice piercing eyes, but that's really all he's got going for him.
His
And
hair
he's
is impeccable.
Jewish. And he's tiny. He's
The
like
Lord?
2 inches taller than Courtney. And
Yeah,
Courtney's like 5 feet tall.
he's a little Lord as it is.
Little Lord. Yeah.
And Brody seems normal sized.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call him tall, but he seems normal sized. I don't know his height. I haven't done a full-on dig on height truthing on Brody Jenner, which maybe I'll have to do after this.
I feel like he's probably pretty. I mean, he's like Not much shorter than Bruce Caitlin.
Yeah, and
And
like how tall is Bruce? Was Bruce like?
probably like 6'3".
I was gonna guess 6'2".
Yeah,
Yeah.
he seemed pretty tall.
Yeah.
I don't think you win a lot of decathlons at like 5'8".
You
or
don't. No,
Like, you gotta
long
do
legs
a lot of
generally
work.
help with those events.
Yeah. Can Caitlin like participate in the Olympics if she goes full sex change?
I had that thought too.
But she's old too.
Yeah, she's like 65.
Well, like, what would her amateur status be?
I don't know if that matters
Right.
for track.
Because there's no professional track, really, I guess.
Yeah, Usain
Right.
Bolt makes plenty of money running, and he still comes back for the Olympics, right?
You're right. You're right.
But I don't know. Wasn't there that weird thing a few years ago with that like woman, like that South African like woman or something who was like maybe not a woman, like medically, and like
Yeah,
she
that
couldn't,
sounds familiar.
like they
I
weren't
think
sure
it's
if
a
she could
hormone.
legally
I think
run.
there is a hormone level thing that is kind of a requirement.
Yeah,
Because
or something.
having,
They weren't letting her
having
run.
like an excess of testosterone for a woman is a competitive advantage.
Well, it is for a guy too if you have more testosterone.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
but-
like in the drug test, right? It's like if you have too
men
much
just
testosterone,
naturally
they don't
have
let you
more,
run.
but men have naturally more
Yeah.
testosterone than women.
So like their legal limit is like higher than a woman's.
I don't know how that would work. I'm talking about science.
Well, let's just say that probably by like the 2040 Olympics, this might
Something
actually
like that'll
be,
happen. Yeah.
there will be like a whole division of there will be something with a lot of trans athletes.
Yeah, or some other Olympics, or like somebody will get into the Olympics.
Oh, and
somehow,
probably more
right?
immediately, the NCAA will have a situation.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Because
For
it
sure.
only takes one.
yeah.
that's true.
But
I'm-
Lord Disick is just he's hilarious, man. He's the worst.
If you like Google Disick gifs, it's just like several minutes, if not longer, of fun. He just says such awful and hilarious things to everybody, and he hates Chris, which is a really good
plus.
quality. Yeah,
Also, they've never gotten married.
yeah. I like
Well, I
that.
respect that. You don't need to be married to the person you love.
What's his
Still love
second?
them.
Do they have a second kid?
They have 3 kids.
3? Oh man. So there's Mason's the oldest, right?
Mason, Penelope's the girl. So in that picture of Nori and like
That's the girl with Nori.
Yeah. And then Rain is a baby.
Rain
Rain
spelled
is
like
a-
R-E-A-R-E-I-G.
Yeah, like a
right?
king. It's
Like
a
the
boy.
Rain Man, Sean Kemp.
He's new.
He's
He was
new.
born like at Christmas time, maybe.
Okay, well, now that I said, you and me both said Lord Disick for number 2. Who did you say, Brendan?
I said Brody, but my number one, I mean, while we're on the topic,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
your number 1's Disick.
my number one is Disick, and I think my favorite Kardashian moment ever is when Kourtney, after the first baby, was talking about losing the baby weight. And I'm going to screw up the numbers, but it was something like, if I could get back to 108, that's like what I weighed before Mesa was born. And he looks at her and he goes, babe, I think 104 is the dream. And just walked out of the room.
He's such a dick. He's really made a good career out of being a dick. And
He's
people
an
love
alcoholic,
to
right?
hate him.
He's like a functioning alcoholic, too.
He was,
Or is he like-
like
there's
in their last like spin-off-y thing, I think they lived in the Hamptons, and he went to rehab from there
So
briefly.
they're pitching him as an alcoholic, but just looking at him, I would assume he's a cokehead.
Oh yeah, sure. He does.
But they're probably spinning it off as he's an alcoholic, 'cause that's more like socially acceptable.
Hmm.
But he's really just like
He's,
a cokehead. Right?
he's from Central Casting for American Psycho. And look at all those guys did.
Yeah. He's just like Patrick Bateman, yeah. So then well, I'll do my number 1 since I feel like people could probably guess mine. I don't know who Carly's is, actually. Mine is Kanye, because I don't understand how number 1's not Kanye. He's the best at everything. Just that's what it is.
All right.
He's the most talented of all these people. He's actually the most outrageous of all these people.
Yes.
Any news story could come out about Kanye, and it couldn't really shock you. and that's why he's number one.
I mean, I can respect it. I just don't. I just hate him. My number one's Courtney, which is like an unpopular opinion probably, especially with Disick at number 2. But I think going with the most entertaining, she's most entertaining to me because she spars with Disick and she spars with Kim and she spars with Chloe, and she just is like saying like funny, mean things to all of them. And she seems like, of all of these people, she seems like maybe a good person.
If this list was about people who I'd want to hang out with, she'd actually be high up on it, I think. Of all of like the Kardashian girls, she seems like the one that you can most reasonably hang out with.
Yeah. Well, and I took some browses through all of their Instagrams. I don't follow them, but I took a look, and most of her stuff is like of her family and her kids and like moments at home, you know, like being a mom and like having a home, and not like, look at me on this red carpet and like look at this picture of my ass. So it made me like her a little bit more.
She could just be playing the Gwyneth Paltrow Goop game too, trying to get into that Goop lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's that's a celebrity route to take. You can go full Jessica Alba if you want all the money.
Yeah, Serena, what's her real name from Gossip Girl? Blake Lively.
Yeah.
She's trying to go there and it's not working.
It's like getting like some like home brand. Like that's the way you make all the money now.
Yeah.
Like Jessica Alba, like I read, does she own 20% of the Honest Company or something?
Oh, I think she owns more than that.
It's valued at like $2 billion.
Yeah, are you guys going with them for anything for these babies? Like
I don't know. We've
stuff,
gifted
right?
some Honest Company stuff, so.
Yeah, that's what I figured. We'll soon find out how it's
But
working.
now they're branching out into like non-baby stuff now. You can just get like Honest Company like laundry detergent and stuff.
Oh.
If you want Jessica Alba to have designed your laundry detergent, go for it. Star
I do.
Sin City. I don't even know like what was she
famous
in?
for nothing.
She had a show.
Famous for nothing. Dark Angel
WWE show.
What was it called, Brendan?
Dark Angel that they used to plug during the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
and
like trying to tap into that.
Too.
Yeah, tap into that Buffy the Vampire Slayer audience, kind of, right? Yeah, that's what it was. And she was never really in good movies.
No, she's in the Entourage movie.
Oh, that's really
shocking. Of course
shocking.
she is.
I saw a list today of like all the cameos in the movie.
I don't want spoilers.
I
had intended to see it before podcast because I actually wanted to review it and allow for it.
You want to review the Entourage movie?
Kind of.
I can just review it right now. Bad.
Well, I want to give like a little bit more detail on like the characters.
We know all the characters. They're all douchebags.
Someone told me the best review they read about Entourage was like, the Entourage movie is what people in Iowa think douchebags in LA are like.
That's not what that's a review of the show, right? Not the movie.
That could be either. I guess that could just be what Entourage is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I chose not to see the Entourage movie. I chose to see a Melissa McCarthy movie this weekend over the Entourage movie. That's my opinion of the Entourage movie. And I guarantee the movie Spy is better than the Entourage movie after seeing it.
Actually, the movie Spy has been getting decent reviews.
It's pretty funny.
We didn't know what to see. Both horrenduses.
Yeah, we didn't know what to see, and my wife said, I'm like, oh, fine, we'll watch it. The first 5 minutes of it was just like, this is going to be as bad as I thought it was going to be. But then it got funny. There's a lot of people in it. Statham, come on. Jude Law.
I mean,
I love Rose Byrne. She's in there. There's a lot of other people. Oh, and Allison Janney, who's always hilarious.
Oh, I love her. Is Rose Byrne actually Australian in this movie, or is she American?
She's
pretending?
Like, she's just like some weird European.
Okay.
Like she uses different accents because like she gets discovered as being something else, whatever. And like, her accent changes at some point during the movie, but she's not American ever. And because of the last movie I saw with her, she was also not American in Neighbors, right?
Yeah.
You just kept her accent.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been fun. I actually think.
Wait, we did all number one. We all did our number ones.
Yeah. Mine was Courtney.
Yeah.
Yours was the Lord.
Yours was
Mine was
Courtney.
Kanye.
Yours was Kanye.
See, I told you I wasn't going to be fired on all cylinders today with this hangover.
Oh, well,
At least I made it to the right apartment.
You can go back to bed now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think
probably.
it worked. Thanks, Carly, for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Yes. And anybody who's listening to this, maybe for the first time, because maybe Carly told you to, and you should if Carly told you to, you should like our Facebook page at First of the Worst and subscribe to listen to us on iTunes at First of the Worst. Just search First of the Worst on iTunes. If you don't have Apple products, you could go Stitcher. We're on Stitcher. If you have Android, the same thing, First of the Worst. Follow us on Twitter at First of the Worst. Brendan, you can follow Brendan. I don't know what he's tweeting about these days. At shy_Murph. That's shy CHI, not as bashful. I'm at a Rundass.
That's so appropriate with this podcast.
I'm at a Rundass, AREDASS. Carly, what's your Twitter? I know you don't use it, but I'm gonna one day bully you into using Twitter. And
yeah, I don't use it much, but it's at Carly Owen, CarlyOwen. And you can read my tweets and imagine me saying them in my horrible Wisconsin accent that you've been listening to for the last
it's not that
hour.
bad. It's not that bad. All right, guys, this has been fun. Thanks.
Bye.
Later.
Thanks, guys.